Peace, peace, peace. Osio, shalom, salam, namaste, hotel, bonjour, hello, and all that other good stuff, man. I hope everybody feeling good for no reason at all, you hear me? Regardless of the circumstance. And I said feeling good for no reason at all, regardless of the circumstance. But working through whatever the circumstance may be. And I say that because we ain't gonna be high vibrational all the time, 24 hours a day, you know. But it do feel good when we are, you hear me? And when we not, I hope all of us got enough sense not to stay there. And in order to do that, awareness matters. I said that with a few things in mind, well, actually just one thing in mind. You know, I was having a bill. I was one of the few males having a bill with a bunch of sisters earlier today. And the topic came up, you know, about can we be high vibrational 24 hours a day? Or I was asked, can we be high vibrational 24 hours a day? You know, and my response was, I ain't seen it. I ain't read about it. And I ain't seen it. You hear me? You know, it's a lot of work just to get to wherever we are, you know, on our journey right now. And things still happen daily, every day, that try to knock us off, you know, from where we may be. You hear me? And that's going to apply different for everybody. But I ain't seen it, man. High vibration 24 hours a day, I ain't seen it, you know. Unless it's just on camera. Unless it's just on camera for the time. The people who claim that is in front of the camera. But other than that, man, that's unrealistic. I you know, I don't heard some of the greatest inspirational speakers speak, and I ain't never heard none of them say that. And those who have read the Bible, even Jesus cried out. You hear me? We you know, life just it's almost to the point where it's unrealistic for that to come out somebody's mouth. I ain't saying that it ain't possible. I'm just saying I ain't seen it. And if some of y'all seen it, man, please drop a comment and let me know. And if you got contact with them people, please link them up with Sawu, cause I would like to get the blueprint on that. You hear me? But otherwise, I ain't seen it, man. You know, life just ain't serving us that type of hand. You hear me? But yeah, that been on my mind, you know, for most of the day since I heard it, and I done went through all the scenarios in my mind, you know, to try to see where that might have been coming from. You hear me? And for me personally, I couldn't define the angle to wrap my mind around all that. You hear me? You know, that to the point that I told myself that must be somebody that's just doing it for the check and while they in front of a camera. You hear me? And we got a lot of them, you know, on the internet, you know, and I'm gonna leave that right there. But ain't nothing wrong with wanting to improve your circumstances and your situations, you know. But don't forget to improve yourself. You hear me? It's a lot of false light narratives that be going on. So we need to be we need to be we need to be careful. You know what we subscribe to, and 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 what we're allowed to be inserted through our airways. You hear me? Because it's a lot of fault light, you know, being tossed around. But I you know, I'm still trying to wrap my mind around it as I speak. But I just haven't seen it, you know. But to get on into the message, when it comes to breaking generational patterns and cycles, for those of us who into that business, shadow work business, you know, and shadow work deal with breaking generational patterns and cycles. And when it comes to breaking generational patterns and cycles, all of us know somebody or some people who watched us doing all the, while we was doing all the inner work, and they ain't do shit. But self-work important because it ain't always somebody else. And I say that because we can't play the victim if we've been the villain. We can't play the victim if we've been the villain, and we can't play the victim when we've been a villain. You hear me? And that's gonna apply to each and every one of us, you know, cause we ain't always been right, and somebody else ain't always been wrong. You hear me? You know, all us play a part in this mess that we don't make, and that's why we here to try to straighten some things out from the inside out. You hear me? And I say that because there ain't nothing like seeing yourself as you are, for who you are, and regardless of what you've shown about yourself to yourself, you make it your mission to do something about it, to be better than you never been, from the inside out. You hear me? And against all odds. You know, and since we gotta have it in us and not on us, I'm glad that I was built for this. You hear me? And I'm doing what's needed, what's necessary with this opportunity that I have while I'm here. You hear me? Salute to the Common Consciousness family. Salute to my BCU family. Salute to my Unscrambled Minds family. You hear me? Salute to all of us who not only heard the call, but answered the call, regardless of what we heard, what we saw, and where it would take us. You hear me? I want to salute us. You hear me? Because I know the work that it take. I know the dedication that it take. I know the commitment that it take. I know the devotion that it take to look at yourself for who you are, as you are, and be willing to do something about it. Cause ain't none of us perfect. You hear me? Once again, I hope everybody feeling good for no reason at all, man. Cause it feel good to be alive. You know, it feel good to be present. You know, and if you're alive, it feel good to be here. And if you're here, it feel good to be here, regardless of where you're at. You know, regardless of where you are, why you here. You hear me? It feel good to allow our inner being to heal. It feel good to be physically healthy. You know, it feel good to be ourselves. It feel good to be myself. You know, it feel good to be growing. It feel good to be abundant. It feel good to know what we want. It feel good to be prospering. It feel good to have insight. It feel good to be strong. It feel good to be maturing. It feel good to be aligned. You hear me? Not only to be aligned, but to be aligned for wonderful things. You know, shit gonna happen, and we see it on the little sticker, car stickers. Shit happens. Yeah, shit gonna happen. But shit happens. You know, to align us up for wonderful things to take place. You know, so it's always a way to look at it. I said that to say this. It's always a way to look at it. You know, it feel good to take accountability. It feel good to know what we want and what we don't want, if I ain't already said that. You know, it feel good to know that you or I don't have to be perfect. You hear me? It feel good to find balance. It feel good to feel powerful. It feel good not to worry. It feel good to feel whole. It feel good to know that you're an extension of source energy. It feel good to know you're an extension of God. It feel good to know that you can co-create through those source-given or God-given abilities. You hear me? However you identify. It feel good to have clarity and see clear in all things. It feel good to not be in confusion. It feel good to step into our purpose as a spiritual being having a human experience. It feel good to listen to our intuition. Anybody listening? It feel good to listen to our intuition. Cause all of us know what has happened in the times that we did. Man, something told me. Yeah. You know, it feel good to know our emotions. Or it feel good to know that emotions is a vibrational indicator of where we at in our state of being. It feel good to have peace. It feel good to exercise stillness. It feel good to have discipline. It feel good to be who I am. Do it feel good to be who you are? It feel good to feel free. if in ourselves, if we ain't free nowhere else, you know. And that's a slippery subject, because, you know, no matter how free we move, we in a state of slavery in a sense. You hear me? But it feel good to be free within oneself. You hear me? It feel good to feel happy and joyful. It feel good to have hope. You hear me? But we need more than hope at times, you know, because hope will only take us so far. You know, it feel good to dictate our own feelings, how we feeling, you know. It feel good to know that our feelings are in our own power, not what happens. And I'm gonna repeat that in case somebody missed it. It feel good to dictate your own feelings. It feel good that your feelings are in your power and not in what happens. You know, it feel good to clean up our vibration by being aware of the energy moving within us. It feel good to find pleasure in thinking thoughts that uplift us. Feel good for no reason at all. It feel good to not be a people pleaser to the detriment of ourselves. You know, it feel good to be learning regardless of what we may be experiencing. It feels good to see the highest potential in all things, in all people, regardless of if they showing us that or not. It feels good to be where you are, if you where you are. You hear me? It feels good to be where I am. It feels good to be who I am. I hope it feels good to be who you are. It feels good to know every relationship that we have is a reflection of us. Now that don't mean every relationship that we have may be reflecting us. If you don't listen, you're gonna miss it. You see, I said those things to say that no matter how you or I feel, you know, if you ain't feeling something to feel good about, find something to feel good about and work from that space to feel good for no reason at all. You hear me? To feel good for no reason at all. I ain't come through to stay long. I came through to connect with us, you know. I came through to connect with us, drop a few things, you know, on our mind. Give us something to think about, something to build on, you know. Let love guide you. 24 come to 6. 6 is about balance, you know, equilibrium. In short, you know, let love guide you. Your two birds back there. You got the light around them, the love around them, you know, in the form of an aura, you know. Love elevate and activate your auric field, you know. Let love guide you. Choose to see the good in the world today. See, and I was just speaking to those things. Man, the synchronicities never let me down. You hear me? I love how I be guided. Choose to see the good in the world today. Even if, regardless of if, you hear me? Because I just ended with, it feel good to know every relationship that we have is a reflection of ourselves, even if all the relationships that we have not reflecting ourselves. Choose to see the good in the world today. I ain't gonna talk too much because I already had fell asleep after I ate, trying to wait for my food to digest. You hear me? But I had to come through. You know, let love guide you. There is magic all around us, woven throughout the fabric of existence. It weaves its threads within our lives, stretching between hearts, embracing souls, and wrapping itself within us. It is that spark, that feeling of home, that smile upon the face of a beloved friend. It is the good we see in the world and the good we carry deep inside of us all. Even so, at times we can lose sight of this good. And we will, and we are, and we have. If you have pulled this card, which I have, then it may be time to see that magic again. Wonderment exercise. Take time today, tonight, whenever you come across this message. Take time to purposefully acknowledge the good things in your life. Write down all that you appreciate. Write down all that you are appreciative for. No detail is too small. As you remember all of the good, let the feeling of gratitude envelope every part of your being with warmth and dazzling bright light. Responsive journaling prompt. How does your inner child see magic in the world? How does your inner child allow you to bring magic into the world? How does your inner child allow you to be the magic in the world? Our inner child is comprised of the many different aspects of childhood we experience growing up. There is a 1-year-old inner child, a 10-year-old inner child, an 18-year-old inner child, and an inner child for every age in between. You don't listen, you're going to miss it. At various times in our lives, different aspects of our inner child will need to be heard. This card indicates that an aspect of your inner child, one you may have not met with yet, has a message for you. Take time to purposefully acknowledge the good things in your life. You hear me? Leave us with that. Feel good for no reason at all. Command change over your life. You know. Stay positive as you can. You hear me? Continue doing the work. You know. Continue exercising self-love. You know. And if you don't feel good about something, find something you can feel good about and go with the flow. You hear me? Find something you can feel good about and go with the flow. And let love guide you. You hear me? Stillness, abundance, love, light, health, and wholeness. To the cosmic consciousness, family, and soul tribe. New subscribers, I appreciate y'all. Welcome to the family. Peekaboos and passerbys, I appreciate y'all too, you hear me? Thanks for the likes, shares, comments, questions, love offerings, donations, whatever you consider it to be, I appreciate y'all. So forth and so on. Until we do it again, I'm known as Sawu. Be you how you be you. Peace, family.